Hey guys, I'm Gang,
Tide.
and welcome to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button below. We would love for you to subscribe, follow us, like us on Facebook if you can. So, basically in this video we're going to be talking about the topics of all year-round schools and traditional schools. So I'm going to go over the pros of an all-around school first. So, in an all-around school, you usually go about 6 weeks on to 2 weeks off. Now, many kids are like, why the heck would we do that? Well, you see, breaks are often they're more frequent, obviously, and so that gives the students more time to think and more time to remember of what they have learned that day. Also, they have more vacation times with their families. It's kind of easier to schedule. It's like, hey, we have 2 weeks off and after the 6 weeks. Let's just take those days off. So I think there's a lot of pros about that, but let's see what the cons are. Ty?
Of course, too, just like everything else, there are many cons to everything. Like, for example, one con for year-round could be limited space availability makes remediation difficult in multi-track schools. So for those kids who, per se, in a traditional sense, would need remediation or what's the word I'm looking for? I got it. Summer school.
Oh.
For all those you kids who went to summer school, they wouldn't have time for that remediation. That's one con. Another con might be the parents may have difficulty finding childcare for their kids during a year-round school. For example, your parent gets off work he goes to work, 8 to 5?
8 to 5.
8 to 5. So, and the typical student day goes from 8 to 3. That's right, 8 to 3, 8 to 3.
I like it.
8 to 3. I like it too. 8 to 3 it is. It goes from 8 to 3. Well, if that's consistently the day, 5 days a week, year round, and your parents don't get off till 5 at least, some parents get off later, what are you going to do with your kids? And just to cover one more con, for teachers who are, they need additional storage space needed for teachers who are off track.
We're going to move on to the traditional school system, pros.
I like traditional.
And you see of what a lot of people think. People are afraid of change most of the time, and because that's what we grew up with. We grew up with the traditional school system, and that's okay. But the thing is, it allows time for children to have a more authentic experiences outside of the classroom. Obviously, you're going to be able to get more creative in the summer, because if you just have 2 weeks off, then you're not going to be very creative. But if you have 2 to 3 months off at a time, you're going to be able to do much more. You're going to be able to think. You're going to be able to just do what you want to do in the time that's given to you. So plenty of time.
I like plenty of time.
I love plenty of time. It's a great time. Also, more family time away demands from school. So yes, you may have better vacation opportunities with the all year round school system, but you're not going to have the near amount of time that you were going to want.
Wait, so you mean I don't get to go to Galveston for the summer?
Yeah, basically, you can't do that. With a traditional school system, you'll be able to plan something that you will love. You'll be able to go to a church camp or your camp of choice, sports camp, extracurricular activity, whatever kind of camp that may be, you'll be able to do that with the traditional school system. Also, as teachers know this, they love their breaks. They need breaks. And 3 to 4 months, I wish it was 4. 2 to 3 months is amazing. 2 weeks is great, but 3 months also gives the teachers a lot more time to plan for the next year. So,
now for the cons of a traditional school system.
yes.
For the kids who may, when school lets out in the end of May or the beginning of June, there's been some questions as to do the kids retain the information from the end of June to where school would begin in traditional school system, which would be the end of August, or for some schools it's the middle of August. Well, studies show that 2.6 months of learning are lost during the summer months. So most of that information that they've got is gone halfway, and so that leads to teachers spending the first month of the school year having to review the information that they went over the year before, and then therefore you're losing extra time you can spend on moving forward in your current curriculum. One more thing, remediation offered in the summer is often too little, too late. So, for example, like we mentioned earlier, you got the summer school. You go to summer school. You get out of summer school. Summer school usually lasts about a month and a half, maybe even less than that. You get ready for a month before school, and then the remediation's there in like the beginning of August to prep yourself to get ready for school. Well, you look at that like that, and then
So is that all right? Is that what you have? Well,
basically,
and of course, many people don't agree with the all-year-round school system. But the thing is, you need to be able. We made this video so that you would be more knowledgeable towards the all-year-round school system. And in this way, we hope that you'll be able to choose the system that is best for you.
so I'm Ty.
And I'm Gain, and I believe our cameraman Larry has some questions for us.
The first question, how will the food be affected in an all-year-round school system?
Okay, you want to answer this one?
I would love to.
All right.
Yes. Well, you see, the school system would be affected because with the all year round, it would be more expensive to keep it going. Food would be more expensive, obviously, because you're going to have to feed kids all year round. Especially since it's 2 weeks apart, you're going to have to find different kind of storage systems because you can't just go 9 months and store it. You're going to have to go all year round. You're going to have to figure out a system for that. So it's going to be a little difficult.
Second question, how will the achievement gap occur?
Would you like it, or do you want me to?
I'll take it. The achievement gap for a year-round school gives the teachers a chance to help lessen or strengthen the achievement gap from one group of kids to another. You're spending more time on a particular subject, and it gives you more time to cover different areas of that subject. And since you're going to be in a year-round school, it'll give you time to help the kids who are less inclined or are struggling to understand. You could regroup and go back, cover that information, for example, for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then that would help progress them with the rest of the kids who are maybe ahead of them. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but it could lead to the achievement gap being strengthened.
The last question, how will extracurricular activities be affected in an all-year-round school system?
Well, you see, with an all-year-round school system, in a way, they might improve. For instance, you may think, well, now the kids have to come to their extracurricular activity and they have to take care of this stuff. But the thing is, when you sign up for an extracurricular activity, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're wanting to do. You're going to do extra stuff. It's in the word, extracurricular. And so, for instance, I'm going to go with a sport. If a person, when they have the 2 weeks off, they are still going to play sports in those 2 weeks if it's during the season. But because of this, they're not going to be able, they don't have to focus on school as much, and so because of that, they're also going to improve in the sports that they love, or whatever they want to enjoy, whatever kind of club or activity that they are a part of. And so it may stink that they still have to go, but and when you think about it, when you signed up for it, that's what they signed up for, that's what they want to do, and I believe that's all I have. So, I'm Gain. Peace out. Don't forget.